Hi everybody, this is Dave Fresilli with Holistic Health and Fitness and Holistic Health Vibrant Life, the podcasts. Are you ignoring your body and the health of your body while awakening to your higher self, beingness? So we've had long conversations about your primary purpose, that is to awaken. And that, yes, is what should be first and foremost, we'll say, on your plate. And then secondarily, your secondary purpose is to then be able to express that awakened beingness through a mind and body that is now clear of the delusion of a personality, of an ego. And then through that, then you can experience and express what you are passionate about, no matter what it is, whether you're a lawyer or a dog walker or a mom or a construction worker, it doesn't matter. Because you'll be rid of all the pain and suffering, the fears and the doubts and the worries and the anxieties that would come with that delusional aspect of an ego, which is constantly, again, trying to prove its existence by pointing out how it's different from everybody else. And it craves on fear, for one thing, and creating fear to do that. So when that's gone, or as you're transcending and as that's being diluted, right, it's dissipating, you're beginning to awaken, the mind and the body then start to heal. Because again, there's not that delusion, the fears and worries of I'm getting older, I'm not able to keep my weight off, I'm getting heavier, I've had these pains in my back, my neck, my shoulders, I'm out of shape, I can't control my eating, I have illness, I have disease, all this stuff, I'm not making enough money. All this manifests in the body and through your life experience. So when you begin to awaken, you realize, oh, how silly I was being, living as this ego, this self-image, when that was causing all the issues. So now again, as you transcend that, the body and the mind start to heal because that's no longer there, or it's very much lessened. So the pain and the manifestation of that fear and worry, anxiety, etc., is no longer manifesting. However, it does not mean that you should ignore your body. Your body is a biological organism. It is a living organism made up of trillions upon trillions of cells, individual cells that are talking to one another and speaking and moving through and holding this form that we call a body. And because it is a living organism, it is susceptible to all the environmental aspects of what we'll call this phenomenal world and other living organisms. So we talk about the circle of life, okay? Or the life experience of birth, life, and then death. And everything that is within that circle of life, living organisms, move through that birth, life, death cycle. But it's not linear. It's actually a circle of life that revolves around up onto itself and then begins ascents again. When we look at what we call the food chain, we think as human beings that we're the top, we're the pinnacle of the food chain because of our intellect and that we can build machines of destruction and, you know, we have guns and ammunition, and so we're the top of the food chain as far as all other life forms go, except for one another. So we can say, oh yeah, well, of course, Dave, unless I was in a wilderness situation, you know, and I didn't have a rifle, then yeah, I'd be less on the food chain because there's things like lions and tigers and bears, oh my, out there that are bigger and stronger than me, and you know, I'm not the top of the food chain then, unless I'm really, really smart and can defend myself against them. But believe it or not, if you don't take care of your body, you are not at the top of the life cycle or at the top of the food chain. So it's important, even as you're awakening, and even if and as an awakened being, that you take care of this amazing body, because it needs us for survival, and even more than survival, it needs us to thrive. This is, again, our vehicle of expression and experience, as is our mind. The body, being a biological, we could call it a suit, needs certain elements for it to thrive, for it to be healthy and vibrant. And if it doesn't get those, or if it gets very poor quality of those components, what we call the 6 components, then the body is going to move down towards illness, disease, decay, and death. So when we again talk about that circle of life or the food chain, a circle has no top or bottom, no side. Even though if I hold it like that, so you go, well, Dave, wait a minute, this is the top right here and that's the bottom. Well, in reality, if I turn that, then where did the top go? Well, now the top is over here. There is no top. There is no side. There is no bottom. A circle is equivalent all the way around. Each position on the circle may have a different view, may be represented in a different way, but it's not the top. So we, as human beings, are susceptible to illness and disease. We are also susceptible to parasites and fungus. Now, parasites and fungus come in all different shapes and sizes. Some of them are microscopic, and some of them are very visible to the naked eye. So let's just look at parasites for a minute, and we'll just generally call them worms, but it's a general term, okay? So there are microscopic parasites that, again, you have to look under a microscope to see. And then there are very large parasites that are such as a tapeworm. So tapeworms can get long, many feet. And they live in the intestinal tract mainly, okay? So all different shapes and sizes. Fungus, the same thing. Well, they don't get big though. Okay, so having said that, if you're not healthy, if you aren't in a state of health and vitality, then the body becomes open to infestation of fungus and parasites. And you can get them from many different sources. So hygiene is critical. Making sure you're washing your hands. When you're touching things, understand that other people have touched those things too. Doorknobs. We're in a gym, so weight racks, very contaminated even when you clean them off a lot. So steering wheels, everything. Your food, if it's not cooked correctly. Raw, even vegetables, which are very good for you, if you don't clean them, can have fungus and parasites on them. Water can be contaminated. If you do a lot of traveling, you can get contamination that way too, especially in third world countries. The point being is this. Through your transcendence, as you awaken, do not ignore this amazing body. Make sure it stays healthy. Make sure your vitality is strong and vibrant. Do not allow your body to start getting weaker and weaker, because if you do, fungus and parasites love to come in and start building colonies of their own within your body. And we will go into this. This is part 1. We will go into how fungus and parasites actually create the signs and symptoms that you would deal with. And many of them lead to illness and disease, and actually can mimic illness and disease in the body, which trick a lot of doctors. That will be in part 2. But for now, I wanted to give you that overall background. And again, the idea is that while you are transcending, while you are awakening to beingness, do not ignore your body. This is an amazing body we have. Keep it strong, keep it healthy, and give it what it needs to thrive. The 6 components to health and wellness. So again, this is an online course that I offer, and I also work one-on-one with my clients here in the studio and via Skype. So if you're interested, in creating incredible vitality and health, and yes, even virility in your life so that you can experience being through this amazingly healthy body, I highly encourage you and I invite you to come join me. So until I hear from you, this is Dave Fresilli with Holistic Health and Fitness and Holistic Health Vibrant Life, the podcasts, and I wish for all of you a vibrant life. Take good care.